Alrighty guys, what is going on everybody? Happy Friday to everybody out there. I hope everyone is doing good. Glad to have everybody here. Let's go ahead and see who we got here in the chat. We got ourselves Storm Chasing Network, we got Black Mamba, we have Mark, we have Poland, we have Z. Let's see here. We got ourselves J Lore, we have JR Littleton, we have Logan. What's up everybody? Let's see, we have MP. Hope you're doing good. Glad to have y'all here for another update here on the tropics and the overall verdict here with Hurricane Lee. We just got a new update that just came through, you guys. We're going to hop you guys over here to the overall view. So we did just get a new update here on the from the Hurricane Center. Actually, this thing is now a Category 4 again. They just downgraded it from a Cat 5 to a Category 4. We are talking sustained winds literally right on Cat 5 still, though. I mean, like I said, it's literally 2 mile an hour sustained off from being a Cat 5. So it is like the peak of Cat 4 can even get. It's just undergoing a little bit of an eyewall replacement cycle right now, is the thing at the current moment. Like I said, right now it's it's not looking as healthy as it was because, like I said, obviously it's doing that eyewall replacement cycle, but it seems like it's doing pretty good at it. It looks like it's starting to get that that convection back in order and everything like that. So it's doing a little better. Let's go ahead and see here. Let's see. MP says, "What's up, Andrew?" Not much. What about you? Hope you're doing good. Chris says, "Good afternoon, everyone. Any chance the west side of Georgia sees anything to the big storm?" Probably not. No, I don't think so. Yeah, like I said, the reason we're like I said, obviously the reason I highlighted the coast is like I said, obviously for rip currents. The Hurricane Center has been saying, as well as it's been pretty obvious here, the system is expected to cause a lot of problems with rip currents here across the U.S. East Coast here overall. Let's see here. Rich says, "Hello, what's up? Hope you're doing good." DJ says, "Good morning. Good morning to you." What's up, Lisa? Hope you're doing good. Keto says, "Have a blessed weekend." You as well. You as well. Dawn says, "Good morning." Good morning to you, Dawn. Let's see here. Oh, would you look at that? MP coming in with the support, man. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. You rock, dude. Thank you so much, MP. That's very sweet of you. I appreciate that. Very, very sweet of you. I just realized hold on a minute, y'all. They just got rid of all the Category 5 status here. Look at this. So right now it's 155. They just rapidly... Holy cow. Wait, they literally just brought this down. It was actually forecasted to be like quite a powerful hurricane from the last update. That's a significant downgrade from the... Yeah, like I said, that's a significant difference there overall. But yeah, so it is a Category 4 now, y'all. It is expected to continue northwest here for the next couple of days. According to the HWRF model, this eye gets absolutely enormous here. But overall, I mean, yeah, no, it's no longer in the forecast to be a Cat 5. Let's see here. By this evening, it's still supposed to have some wind gusts up to 190. That's kind of where it's at right now. Sustained winds of 155 with gusts up to 190 miles an hour. continuing to track to the ways to the northwest. I personally still think this thing could achieve that Category 5 standpoint. I mean, it is possible. It is definitely possible. But yeah, no, right now it's a Cat 4. Let's see here. What is an eyewall replacement cycle? So the way I best explain this for people who's not, too used to weather terminology, think of it as like, you know how like reptiles shed their skin? It's kind of what hurricanes do. They kind of shed out of their old skin or out of their old coat, and they just prepare for a new coat. That's basically what the hurricanes do in simple terms. Let's see here. Following from Nova Scotia, Canada. Yeah, we got to keep an eye out there for some of those regions out there overall. Because, there is some close calls between some of the models here. We're going to bring you all over here to the models, actually. To pull up the latest and greatest, like the GFS. Yeah, we're going to start off with the American GFS here. But yeah, we do need to watch out for areas of the Northeast for sure over the next little bit. Let's see here. Good news. Thanks, Andrew. You're very welcome. Very welcome. Let's see here. Leon says, hi, sorry I'm late. No, we literally just started like 6 minutes ago. You're not late. You're good. Let's see here. Raina says, good morning, everyone. What's up? Hope you're doing good. Hopefully I said your name right. Sorry if I didn't. But yeah, no, in terms of the GFS, this thing tracks its way to the northwest. According to the latest run, I mean, yeah, I don't know how accurate that is, because it has the pressure at 973, even though the pressure right now is at, like, in the 940s, which is, what is crazy. Let's see, what was it? What's the latest pressure? 942 millibars. Yeah, it was at like 926, I think. 926. But anyways, continuous rapid development according to the GFS works its way up here to the north. Like I said, it starts to pull to the north here kind of around September 13th. Kind of around the morning of September 13th, we're going to start to get that northerly push to it. I'm going to have to restart my pen here, because it's deciding it wants to give out on me. Like it does this every stream, so I'm not I'm definitely not used to this here. I'm definitely kind of used to it at this point. But yeah, no, this thing's gonna start pulling its way up here to the north. So basically here for the 13th, continue tracking its way to the north. And like I said, what goes on after that, it's unknown. It's kind of unknown right now. Like I said, it's unknown right now if this thing's going to even come to the U.S. East Coast. Like I said, obviously, the track east or west is very unknown at the moment being. So obviously we've got to, pay attention to that. But what we do know that is going to be a factor is that we are going to have an area of high pressure that is going to be set in place across the U.S. East Coast, which, in theory should help keep the system away from the mainland U.S. to some degree, which, definitely would be good. Definitely would be pretty good. Obviously, we don't want this thing to get near the U.S., but like I said, regardless, I mean, even if this thing, scrapes by the coast of, the U.S., like I said, obviously, if it goes between Bermuda and the eastern United States, which is a good possibility it will, we're going to see some really bad effects on the coastlines. Like I said, the Hurricane Center has been mentioning this as well for several days now, which is definitely crazy. What's that buzzing noise? It's my fan. I have a fan on. I need to fix that. There you go. I think I just needed to change the settings. Anyways, but yeah, so like I was saying, overall, is like I said, obviously we need to just continue watching the East Coast here, because like I said, the models have been picking up a lot of waves from this here overall, as well as like I was saying, here overall we are seeing the Hurricane Center. They've been talking about this as well. Which I'm going to go ahead and bring you guys over to the Hurricane Center. But yeah, the Hurricane Center has been talking about it. Let's see here. Yeah, this is the latest update coming through from the Hurricane Center. Lee is expected to remain a powerful hurricane through early next week. Dangerous beach conditions expected to develop around the western Atlantic through early next week. And so what they mean by that is the threat of rip currents and overall high tides. Big possible swelling across the East Coast here, because of the waves are going to be pushing inland for the most part here overall. But yeah, no, this thing's going to continue working its way here to the northwest, at least over the next couple of days here. Like I said, right now we're going to go ahead and bring you guys back over here to the GFS. But like I said, yeah, continue working its way to the northwest, and then start to get that turn to the north right around pretty much the late 12th into the early 13th, according to the GFS model. Because we are going to have ourselves a jet stream. You can see right here this big jet that goes across the Gulf of Mexico here overall. And like I said, this is going to help steer the storm away from areas like Florida and Georgia. So I'm safe to say at this point, like I said, Florida, Georgia and, you know, I'd even say the Carolinas are definitely pretty much good to go from landfall at this point. I don't think that landfall is going to be a threat for you guys. Because, like I said, this jet stream we have, or this increased jet, as you guys can see here, according to multiple models we're going to figure out, this is going to help keep it out away from those areas. So, obviously, we have ourselves, you know, Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas. Like I said, I think you guys are good, but you guys are still going to feel those coastal effects there, like I said, in terms of, you know, the rip currents and all of that problem. You know, all the problems with the rip currents and stuff like that should, you know, definitely watch out for this still. Anyways, but we work our way down in time here even further. Like I said, that, yeah, the winds are going to obviously increase as we get ourselves, you know, the big clash between a really strong low pressure system, that's the hurricane, and a pretty, you know, I wouldn't say too high, kind of a low end high pressure system, but still a big difference in that pressure differential. So the winds are going to be amplified right between the middle, which is basically going to allow for the system to, you know, like I said, sorry, for the winds, the wind shear to increase out there. Gotta stay hydrated, y'all. Let's see here. Now the Hurricane Center saying they're uncertain if to pull to the north after day 5. Let's see here. The Hurricane Center saying that they're uncertain of the pull to the north after day 5. You know, honestly, yeah. I mean, we still have things that can change. I mean, I've mentioned that since day 1, but I think it will pull to the north. I mean, considering the amount of info, here's the latest hurricane models. This is the spaghetti plot you guys probably have seen at some point in your life, of continuous northwest motion. You can see how it kind of pulls to the north, though. Seems like all these models do pull to the north at the end of that. You know, at the end of that, you know, just kind of just north of the Dominican Republic. It's going to pull its way up here to the north, according to the main hurricane models, and even with the you know, even with the ensembles, the GEFS ensembles, you can see that that pull to the north is expected once it passes just to the north. I mean, like I said, all the members too, all the members show it pulling north to some degree. Obviously, still a little uncertain on the track because you have, you know, some members go as far west as, you know, well far to the west of Bermuda, and you got one that goes right next to Bermuda. I mean, like I said, actually you got this one over here that goes well to the east of Bermuda, which obviously that's kind of more of an outcast considering that's the only run that supports that, or the only member that supports that. But that middle line is the black line here, which, you know, takes that line of best fit essentially here overall. But yeah, so that's that. We got some more ensembles here. This is the GEPS ensembles here. Obviously, we're talking still a northerly approach. Some of the models do have it getting, you know, a little bit further west, but then still pulling to the north. And, you know, like I said, it definitely seems like it could, you know, it definitely seems as of now it will pull to the north according to the models and the information we got right now. Like I said, basically by, you know, basically this is, you know, starting to the 13th, like I was saying, you know, starting to pull north to the 13th. That's like 5 days away from now. I mean, yes, things are still going to change, but there is a couple models that have it getting a little, or a couple, you know, a couple of essential members, like I was saying. Some members do show it getting a little closer to the U.S. than I really like, because obviously we don't want that to happen. The intensity guidance here from the overall verdict of the spaghetti models here. Yeah, the overall verdict of the spaghetti models has this thing, you know, kind of just idling right at Cat 4 for a while. And like I said, that's even with the newest Hurricane Center's prediction. They had it literally for Cat 5 for like the next like 3 days or so, and then they brought it down to it's not supposed to be a Cat 5 anymore. Personally, you know, honestly, what I personally think, I think it might get right back up in the upgrade, because I think it's just underdoing a eyewall replacement cycle at the moment. Yeah, ignore the model here. But yeah, currently, like I said, right now it's 155 sustained with wind gusts getting up to 190 with that pressure right around 942 millibars here overall. Continuous to the northwest here. You can see just you know, the cone gets pretty daggone big at the end of its here, which is definitely a little interesting. What's up, Mark? Hope you're doing good. Glad to have you here. Let's see. What's the chances of the Florida Panhandle get hit? Very low. I really don't think it's going to pull that way. I mean, like I said, things are still bound to change. But like I said, right now, I don't... You know, right now I'm not expecting any of that to occur. Let's see here. New Figure says I'm in the Leeward Islands. Let's see here. Oh, you're out there by the Leewards. Yeah, it's just going to pull to the north. It's just going to pull to the north of the Lesser Antilles and just in general. which is good. But like I said, you guys are still going to feel those effects of the surf. You know, like I said, obviously rip currents and high waves is, definitely going to be a problem. And actually, I'm going to actually take you guys over here to the models whenever it comes to the, let's see here, whenever it comes to the models with the overall wave expectancy here. We're going to bring you guys over here. I'm actually going to hop y'all over here right now. Select the model. We're going to do ECMWF. We're going to go ahead and pull out the United States. We're going to pull East Coast, and we're going to scroll down until we reach the maximum wave height and directions. Here we go. Now, once again, this is just one model. Take this with a grain of salt. Don't take this to be too seriously. I'm going to turn on dark mode for you guys because dark mode is obviously better. Anyways, but yeah, according to this, you can see that, this whole mass of just heavy waves really works its way to the west here. We're actually going to drop down because that one goes a little further. But you can see we have this, really big wall of waves that works its way towards the region. And you can see that wall hitting right there towards the U.S. East Coast, right here for basically the 13th. I mean, you see how it's blue, which is, right around the lower, waves are maybe around 1 to 3, right around 1 to 3, feet. But look at this. As the system gets closer, the U.S. East Coast is going to be like 10 plus feet of waves out there. So, yeah, we're going to see some pretty dangerous effects, according to the model here. And like I said, even as we work our way to the closest point here, I mean, some of the East Coast here could get some seriously high waves. And like I said, I honestly understand the people. I understand that the people out there are wanting to go surfing and stuff. But like I said, this is not the weather to go surfing. And considering there is going to be a really big shot for some rip currents. Rip currents is a big problem here with this system overall, which is definitely not good. So like I said, even though the waves look very tempting to go out on, just know there is dangers with it, and we do not recommend to go out in them. Okay. So once again, we're going to see those waves really kick towards the U.S. here. I mean, seriously, causing a lot of swelling possibly as well. We might even see, like I said, swelling in terms of, essentially the storm, like I said, the water level rising slightly higher than sea level is a good possibility with those waves pushing deeper inland here. Could be a possibility. Let's see. JJ says, is it doing an eye wall replacement cycle? Right now it is, yes. Yeah, right now it looks like it is. We're going to go and hop you guys over here to the satellite view. So this is the current state of the storm. You can see the convection was, struggling there for a minute. You can see there that the eye is it's kind of hardly visible, but it's definitely, I think it's just redoing that, eye wall replacement cycle there overall, is from what it looks like. But I mean, it's definitely not the way it looked like a little bit ago. If you guys seen that yet last night, holy cow, that system looked pretty gnarly. Let's see here. Look at those evil eyes. What the evil eyes here? Yeah, we got two systems actually. Let's see here. What if it happens on Tuesday? Hurricane Lee doesn't start heading. It's predicted on the models. Let's see. So you're saying what happens if on Tuesday it doesn't start heading? So obviously the models are gonna pick up day by day, and they're gonna figure out what's more the likelihood than not. So as we work our way down in time for the next several days, I mean every day the model's gonna know a little bit more of what we can expect out of the overall outcome. Hopefully that helps with your question. But we're going to go and hop you guys back here. But yeah, no, there's the GFS here. Once again, here's the latest GFS on terms of the system here. Continuous northwest motion pulling to the north here right for the 13th as we get ourselves a bit of a frontal system that rolls through here. Low pressure system kicks off to the northeast, followed by a nice ridge of high pressure across the eastern country. Then, like I said, obviously this low pressure system drives to the north. Depending on how west it goes is a little unknown. But according to the GFS, it gets a little too close for comfort there towards Maine and the areas of Nova Scotia, which seems to be an issue, potentially according to that model, which, like I said, it's just one model. Obviously things are bound to change, just FYI. I wanted to let you guys know that. In terms of the European model and the latest, it kind of shows a similar track, in the beginning, turning to the northwest, remaining between Bermuda and the U.S. East Coast. But in terms of, quote-unquote landfall, it shows it kicking out more to the east as a high-pressure ridge pulls more to the northeast here overall. Let's see here. I've lived on the east coast of North Carolina and the Outer Banks my entire life. Every single time there's a hurricane, they say it's going to turn north. It doesn't until it hits North Carolina. Yeah, like I said, obviously, every system's a little different. Every system is not going to be the same. Let's see. See, Southeast Florida safe from this one. Yeah, honestly, like I said, I don't think that this thing's going to come near Florida, honestly. Like I said, it's forecasted to pick up to the north here overall. Is essentially what it's going to do. The only thing I see for Florida being a problem is, like I was saying, those rip current concerns. Like I said, with the European model and the overall verdict here is we are seeing as those waves get pretty high out there. I mean, it looks like right now, in the current time being, the waves are pretty low, anywhere from like 1 to 5 feet, which is really not too crazy. But then we work our way down in time for later on, like I said, working our way to the 12th and the 13th. You can see just how much those waves increase in that yellow territory. I mean, right over 10 plus foot waves. So the waves are bound to increase, as well as the, like I said, the threat for, rip currents and all of that overall seems to be a problem. Let's see here. What's my thoughts about people on Long Island? I would, if I lived in Long Island, I would definitely consider watching it. Like I said, there's still a lot of unknowns about where it's going to be whenever it gets near that region or parallel to that region. Like I said, definitely should monitor it. I mean, if you live across the coastal side of Long Island, I mean, I would still expect some pretty big waves at this point. Even if this thing pulls very far to the east away from Long Island, we're going to feel some heavy waves out across pretty much the entire U.S. East Coast here. There in terms of those, the waves and stuff. Like I was saying here, back over here at the model, from the ECMWF, I mean, it shows those waves, potentially getting pretty daggone high, over 10, nearly 10 to 15 or so foot. Could be possible, which, could cause some swelling out there. So we could probably expect some swelling as well as the potential here for, like I said, obviously rip currents. That's the main problem. So like I said, if you're planning a beach vacation for next week, basically for early to mid next week, like I said, just know that there's going to be that beach risk out there here overall. Let's see here. Let's see, look at this. See, look at the storms, so beautiful but scary. Yep, they are. How far out does the wind field extend? Let's go and bring y'all over here. So the current wind field is not terribly too big. Tropical storm winds between 39 and 56 miles per hour extend out right around... Oh, hold on, we got to remove that there. So the tropical storm force winds extend right around 200 miles between 39 and 56 miles per hour. The intertropical storm force winds, the higher up category, is roughly about 100 miles. Then the hurricane, this is 74 plus mile an hour winds out there. This is, the hurricane force wind field is about 65 miles across, roughly. So, I mean, the wind field's not terribly too big. I mean, it's not really that big of a system, but, according to the models, though, it is expected to grow. It's definitely actually expected to pick up a bit of strength here, potentially. I'd still say it's possible it could pick up maybe a little bit more strength. I mean, I personally think it could go back into Cat 5. Latest cone has this thing in Cat 4, but it literally rides like near Cat 5 for the next, it's maximum upper level Cat 4 right now. So, let's see here. Is there a chance it could take a shift to the left and cause problems for the mainland? I mean, it seems that is more of an unlikely scenario right now, overall. But like I said, on the other note, this is 5+ days out and things are bound to change. But like I said, you can see all the main models, though, has this thing pulling to the north. The odds of this happening is extremely low. Yeah, the odds of this happening is very, very low. The European model as well shows this thing pulling really hard to the north here overall. In terms of the CMC model, the latest run here shows it pulling to the north as well. Yeah, the CMC is almost identical to GFS. Holy cow, look at that. So GFS has it hitting right there on the western side of Nova Scotia. Once again, this is a little disclaimer. This is pretty far out, y'all, so don't trust this too much. Let's see here. What was that? The CMC we were looking at? Yeah, the CMC model agrees right there with the GFS and hitting right between Maine and Nova Scotia. Which, like I said, let's hope that's not the case. Hopefully, it goes more out to the east. Let's see. But, you know, obviously, like I said, once again, if you guys live across the Northeast, as well as Eastern Canada, like I said, just keep an eye on the system. You know, right now it's it's a lot of uncertainty right now. There's a lot of unknowns, and we'll learn a lot more about this system as days progress. Let's see here. Oh, we actually have the hurricane hunters in the storm right now. Oh boy, they're back in it. Let's see. They just they reported the pressure going up, which is a sign that it's weakening. But they reported the pressure going up, which obviously, yeah, pressure's going up there, and which means it's weakening a bit. But like I said, they have that. I think it's doing that eye wall replacement cycle though. I mean, you can see the eye wall is, not really too visible. It has a little pinhole eye right there, but convection's kind of weak. You're a little scarce on the left-hand side, but it looks like it's trying to get that back worked together. Like I was saying, it's been degrading a little bit. But like I said, it is now a Cat 4, by the way. The people who's wondering this, it's no longer a Cat 5 at the moment. It's right there next to one, though. I mean, it is literally sustained winds of 155 miles per hour to be classified as a Category 5 hurricane. It's got to have winds sustained here of at least 157. So literally 2 mile an hour more sustained, it'll be a Cat 5. But let's see here. Is there a chance that the currents and land masses in Bahamas? Let's see here. The currents and land masses in Bahamas will shift Lee to the west into the mainland. Probably not. No. I will say though that for those regions out there by the Bahamas, definitely, definitely needs to keep it out there for those tidal problems, like I was explaining here. I mean, like I said, even if this thing remains out pretty far, I mean, you can see those main islands down there. Here, let's see if I can actually grab a better view. Let's do southeast. I don't know if it'll pull up too many of them. Kind of does. But yeah, no, there's portions of the Bahamas right here, okay? That's portions of the Bahamas. And later on down in time, you can see how the Bahamas, get some pretty hefty winds, or pretty hefty waves, I should say, sorry. Some of those getting over 15 feet, which is, definitely a problem for the Bahamas, too. I mean, that's a problem for, most of the U.S. East Coast. It's just a bunch of water coming right at the land here, which is going to have bigger wave effects. Overall, overall, a lot of problems with surf and, all that stuff. So, like I said, it's going to be a problem with those waves, as well as the overall verdict here with the rip currents and stuff. Let's see here. What's up, Jay? Hope you're doing good. Glad to have you here. Do I think that Delaware or New Jersey is in the clear? Like I said, if I was there, I would still be watching the system. There's no guarantees that it'll stay 100% away from those areas. But it's also not for sure that it's going to go make a landfall in that area. So right now, there's just a lot of unknown. There's a lot of uncertainty right now. I mean, like I said, what we can say with pretty confidently is at least for the next 3 to 4 days or so, it's going to continue to the northwest. What happens at this point is, still a little questionable. But most of the models, I mean, pretty much all the models I've seen has this thing just pulling north at this point. Has it pulling north to some degree here. Like I said, what's going to happen out here in the long range is very much unknown. What's going to happen out there in this part is a big question mark. And like I said, we're going to have some strong winds blow to the northeast here, right over Florida. So that should keep Florida away from this, which, the system, as it's continuing to move to the northwest, those winds are going to start pushing against the storm, and it's going to allow it to go more to the north. And like I said, what's going to happen at that point is still up for grabs. May you please show the little arrows in the Bahamas? Back on the waves? Let's see. I can show you back over. Let's see. I might be able to pull up the Caribbean, actually. Maybe not. Here. I'll bring you all back over here, though. So, overall, you can see out there by the Bahamas, in terms of the waves and stuff like that. Yeah, the waves are definitely going to be getting pretty high as the system... I mean, like I said, even the system remaining pretty far away. The system remaining pretty daggone far away overall. Like I was saying, uh, even with it being far away, there's still going to be some massive wave effects far away from the storm. I mean, like I said, at this point here, you can see how the waves across the Atlantic are, not really too high. They're kind of right in the range between, like 1 and, at most probably 8 feet in general across some of those blue areas there, and a couple spots a little higher, like I said, up to 8 feet maybe. But then you get the system that rolls through. Look at all the waves just get really huge. I mean, across the red is showing like 20 plus, 20 foot waves there. So we're talking some big waves out of here. Obviously, towards the center will be a little crazier. I mean, according to this model, Bermuda gets some waves probably 30 plus feet, which, like I said, take that with a grain of salt, though, like I was saying. Yeah, but like I said, just, take that with a grain of salt. That's still subject to change here. Gotta stay hydrated, y'all. Let's see here. I'm going to bring you guys over here to the... I do want to go ahead and show you guys the overall verdict here with those winds like I was talking about. Did I already pass it? I think I did. There we go. Deep layer shear. So, like I was explaining here, as the system rolls to the northwest, see, we're going to have this big jet over here across Florida. You guys see that? So this big current of air, kind of work its way up here this way. So you can see how it's pulling to the northeast. So as the system continues barreling to the northwest, it's going to get caught up in that jet, which is going to steer it, turn it more to the north. That's the main component here. That's the main component here. Let's see here. But yeah, no, the winds are... The upper level winds definitely get really nasty right over the northeast because... Like I said, we're basically squeezing a low pressure system and a high pressure system really close to each other with complete large gap in pressure, which is going to amplify those winds. Like, wow. That is crazy. So, like I said, that high should perform some miracles, hopefully. That high pressure system, hopefully should perform some miracles and help keep this thing far away from the U.S. Here overall. Let's see here. I'm actually going to bring you all back over here to the main models real quickly. Let's see. Back to the GFS. Let's see here. North Atlantic. Okay. So according to the, like I said, the GFS here, whenever it comes to the, it's in the moisture and stuff like that, as we work our way down in time overall, it looks like once it steers to the north, like I was explaining with that jet we were talking about, with those stronger winds that kick to the northeast right over Florida, those winds will actually drive in a bit of dry air too. You can see the underside getting uppercutted by some really dry air. And a mixture of that dry air and the overall stronger winds will allow for this thing also, as it's going to be crossing into the cooler waters. As a result, between all three of those, this thing will be, like I said, rapidly weakening. Let's see. Yeah, that goes right over Nova Scotia. Like I said, obviously, don't take that seriously. Once again, take that with a grain of salt. This is just one model, and plus, like I said, this is for September 15th, which is, like I said, 7 days out. A lot of things can happen in 7 days, okay? A lot of things can change. Let's see here. This is gonna be chaotic. Yeah, let's hope not. I mean, like I said, regardless, even if it does the absolute best case scenario, like I was saying, I mean, even if it pulls completely all away from land, it goes right between Bermuda and the U.S. mainland and steers well away from land. Even if it does that, we're gonna really feel some waves. So, like I said, we're gonna feel some effects regardless of the system here at this point. I mean, it's it's basically a certainty at this moment that we're gonna definitely feel some effects out of this guy. I mean, like I said, literally look at this. So it's worked its way down in time. I mean, you can see from now, the point being, like I was explaining, those waves pretty low. Ignore my activate windows thing. This thing's been glitching on me forever, even though I've activated it. But anyways, between 1 and 6 feet there, you know, across the blue. So obviously most of the waves are, you know, kind of you know, shallow. They're not too crazy. But like I said, and then you work our way down in time, you see how those instantly amplify. Instantly amplify. And like I said, you know, right there towards, you know, the Bahamas, as this thing works its way here to the west overall, you know, like I said, those waves out there by the Bahamas could be getting like over 20 feet, which is crazy. See, apparently there are 2 fronts heading to the east coast. First will have no effects, but the second front will cause the hurricane to change direction. So what it actually is, here, I'll show you overall. So on the models, yes, we do have a cold front that's going to be rolling through. So right now, obviously, here, we'll backtrack here. So the system's right here approaching just to the northeast of the Lesser Antilles right now. The system is, you know, working its way down in time to the northwest here overall. And like I said, obviously we work way down in time. We have a low pressure system that swings its way up across the Ohio Valley here, according to the GFS, right for the September 13th commute. The cold front's fairly weak. It looks like, you know, the low pressure system is not very strong. It's not really a strong low, but that mostly keeps, you know, it mostly keeps it mostly out of there. But then we have this big ridge here. It's all one front, though. It is all one front. There's just high pressure that builds in behind. I mean, typically on severe weather events and stuff like that, as well as we watch, the backhand side of a cold front is higher pressure as ridging starts to build in. But like I said, we work our way down in time here, and that high pressure, you know, kicks through, which helps keeps the thing out to, you know, keeps these things out to sea, hopefully. But like I said, you know, it's still a little unknown of, you know, how far east it'll be kicked. Just depends on how strong that high pressure is and the size of it, and, you know, all kinds of other factors here. Let's see here. So if a frontal boundary weaks, let's see, then what happen. If it's weaker than expected, then it will probably track more to the west. But if it's stronger than expected, hopefully that's the way it is. It'll probably kick more to the east. Like I said, it really just depends on the track, the overall, you know, intensity and the size. That's big components in weather. Track, intensity, and size. Let's see here. What's the effects escalating when it near the Leeward Islands? So as it approaches the Lesser Antilles here, like I said, I mean, obviously part of the storm's going to remain to the north. We're not going to expect any landfall or anything like that for any of those regions. But like I was saying, though, you will for sure feel the fact that we're going to have some pretty strong, you know, pretty strong waves out there. Let's see here. I'm going to bring this out to North America. Might be the best way to look at the Lesser Antilles. So there you go, right there. So yeah, we work our way down in time. Give it 1 minute to load, but yeah, you can see how towards the Lesser Antilles there. Yeah, the waves definitely get pretty serious. Like I said, you know, right there by the coast, over 10 feet or so. You know, 10-foot waves just off the islands there. And then, like I said, this thing works closer to the U.S., which, you know, increases the waves. I mean, this thing's literally just like, showing a bunch of water just getting thrown at the coasts. Like I said, you know, we're going to see probably some swelling, too, with all that water being pushed inland. See, boo, the GFS is horribly inaccurate. We're not using the GFS right now. But, no, you know, all models can be inaccurate. Like I said, all events are different from the models. I've seen the GFS overperform the ECMWF before, and I've seen the ECMWF overperform the GFS. I mean, obviously, the bottom line is you still got to take all the models seriously for every event. You need to grab as much opinions as you possibly can, because every single model you grab is some useful information. Let's see here. But yeah. Alright, let's see here. Jason says, so when the intensity Lee has accumulated within such a short time, okay, can that intensity be diminished as fast? I know climate doesn't allow for so in the environment that the storm's in right now, it will not weaken as fast as it strengthened, if that's what you're asking. Like I said, there's still very warm waters under the storm here. There's a lot of moisture still involved, as well as there is no wind shear. There's like no winds that are, foreign to the storm that's basically, ripping apart its structure. So right now, no, it will not weaken. It's not going to weaken as fast, but it will get to that point. More than likely, once it reaches these waters here, more than likely it will weaken quicker once it gets up here because increased wind shear, cooler temperatures of the oceans, as well as, like I said, a little bit more drier air infiltration will be a problem, with the system here. For example, I'll go ahead and show you what I'm talking about here on the models. Like I said, the GFS, as the system works through, so there's a system right there. That's Lee. You can see this big thing of dry air just gets swallowed by the storm on the southern flank, which that'll help, probably weaken it a bit in terms of the, the overall wind shear and stuff. Like I said, increased wind shear, got a big jet. Basically, you just have this big current because you have a really strong low pressure system. You got a really, I wouldn't say strong, but a decent high pressure system. And overall, that is going to just have a really strong jet just tracking to the north here overall, which is, like I said, going to allow for the system to, probably deorganize a bit more overall. And like I was explaining earlier here yesterday, the surface temperatures of the ocean has to be at least 26 degrees Celsius or higher to be allowed to withstand itself to continue to thrive. Either that or intensify a little bit. But once this storm tracks its way into the cooler waters out here, it's going to have a bit of the Gulf Stream to work with. But once it passes north of the Gulf Stream, it's just going to run out of that heat, that latent heat there on the surface of the ocean, which is going to help it die out a bit. Which is more than a likelihood. Let's see here. When do I think for sure we'll know in the clear that we're in the clear for Florida? Like I said, I'm very firm to believe that Florida is fine, but I would still wait a couple days, obviously, just to put the nail in the coffin. Because right now, like I said, obviously the storm's still, a little far away from the East Coast in general. The storm 4 or 5 days from now, it's just going to be north of the Dominican Republic. So, it's obviously a little bit out there. But overall, yeah, with the stronger winds that's going to be pulling up over Florida, it's going to steer it away from Florida. Yeah. But I would say, we'll definitely have better information here by, I'd say by the weekend. I'd say by Sunday, maybe. We'll have, the best information. Let's see here. Let's see, my bad delay, y'all. Moving stuff. Oh, it's fine. You're good. But yeah, but like I said, hopefully it just doesn't get near those regions there. Like I said, it's not forecasted to get near Florida or anything like that right now, which is good. Let's see here. Michael coming in with a $2 super chat. Thank you so much, dude. Coming in with the support. I appreciate it, man. Saying, let's see, chance of southeastern North Carolina coast getting hit. So southeastern North Carolina coast. The chances of that. Like I said, most of the models here, as we were talking, I'll go ahead and show you all the spaghetti models on the system. I haven't shown that in a while. So between the spaghetti models overall, you can see that they pull to the north. So there's Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic. You can see it pulls straight to the north here, away from those regions. Here's a more of an ensemble ordeal, kind of showing the exact same thing here overall. Here, you go, pulling to the north. That little speck right there is Bermuda. But you can see all the main ensembles pull to the north here. All the main, all of the ones, pull mostly here to the north. And of course, we have ourselves the last set of ensembles, which is the GEPS one. And you can see the GEPS ensembles here. So there's North Carolina. You can see they're all to the east of you. All to the east of you. So, like I said, due to the stronger winds, that's going to be present right over those areas of Florida. That's going to allow for, like I said, the steering to commence to the north. Here, I'll go ahead and show you what I'm talking about here again, y'all. We're going to bring you all over here. So, like I was saying, though, is those winds here. You can see that we work our way down in time. The storm's right here. We continue tracking our way down in time here, and then we get this stronger wind jet here. You see those winds, tracking to the northeast here overall. Like I said, obviously, this thing, that strong wind jet pushes it more to the north. But it's fighting. It wants to go to the coast. It's kind of pushing against that stronger winds, which obviously we have listed the high pressure system right here at the 1018 millibars. We have a low pressure system here with a 982. So there's a big pressure difference between these two areas, which is just allowing those winds to absolutely scream to the north. Because the more pressure changes in a shorter distance, the more stronger the winds are. But anyways. But that's that. I mean, yeah, like I said, at this point, it's going to run into some stronger winds, cooler waters, and it's going to start drawing in a bit of dry air overall, too. Let's see here. Yeah, let's hope it doesn't hit New York City. Even if it did hit New York, it'd actually make the humidities higher with all that water that's being introduced. Wouldn't be very good. Obviously, humidity would be. I'd rather have humidity than New York getting hit by this storm. Let's see here. See, Michael says few. Yeah. Once again, dude, thank you so much, Michael. I really appreciate the support, dude. Very sweet of you. Okay, I will mention this really quickly again, you y'all. Or actually, I don't think I mentioned it. Really quickly, a little off topic. We do have a severe weather event today from Northern Virginia again, all the way up to southern Maine. Another one for Louisiana into Texas, portions of southwest Arkansas. At the current moment, we have a little bit of storm activity popping off across like Louisiana currently. A little threat for severe weather up there in the dark green. So yeah, that's about all that's going on right there. And then we got ourselves, let's see here, what was this one? Yeah, Margot, sorry. Margot up there is, tropical storm status. Expected to turn Cat 1 here basically by, what was this here? Yeah, it's forecasted to turn Cat 1 right around the 10th. So 2 days from now, for the evening of the 10th, the system's going to turn into a hurricane. It's forecasted to. Let's see here. Alexander says, hello, what's up, we're doing good. So you just got in. Did I cover Long Island? Let's see, I'll go back if you did. I did say some things about Long Island, but I didn't really say too much. The thing is like I said, the only thing I see as a problem right now for Long Island and the areas of the Northeast is waves. So that's only a problem if you live like on the coast, or if you live near the coast. Let me show you real quickly. So like I was saying here, some of the models here, you can see, I mean, obviously as this system approaches the northeast, we're in the red right there off the coast, the yellowish orange red color right there off the coast of Long Island, which, it's right in this table here, basically 16 to 25 foot waves in that margin roughly, of waves heights. So, obviously bigger waves, rip currents, and, yeah, that's going to be the problem. That's going to be the problem here overall. But that like I said, that's what I see so far. And like I said, obviously there is a couple models that still has this thing getting close to those regions of the Northeast. But like I was explaining, that's not a known factor right now. There's still a lot of unknown, criteria with the storm right now. We just don't know. Let's see here. Let's see. See, it would not make any difference to me, hopefully. Let's see here. What? Let's see. Ali says, okay, thank you so much. You're very welcome. You are very welcome, my friend. Glad to help y'all out. Let's see here. Alright, we're going to hop you guys back. Actually, we need to take a look at these HWRF models. Or not the HWRF, some of those hurricane models like the HWRF here. So let's see here. So we work way down in time. Current time right now is obviously almost noon for the 8th. So according to the models, it looks like it is going to be picking up a bit more intensity according to this. Wow. See, I don't get why it's still forecasted just to remain where it's at. It's not forecasted to strengthen anymore at all in its life, according to the latest according to the latest Hurricane Center update, which I think it could kick back up in a little bit of strength personally. But the eye gets absolutely, yeah. The eye is absolutely massive in its later cycle here, according to the HWRF here. Let's go and take a look at some of these other models, like the HMON here. Shows a big wobbly eye though, but pressure still gets really low. 914 millibars at this point. I think it's really, really strong. Let's see here. And HAFSA. Wow, just rapid intensification from 941 to 918. That was over the last little bit. But the model now kind of has it, kind of teeter-tottering, going up and down in intensity. Then obviously approaches towards the, approaches out there towards the, the Caribbean islands just to the north. It's supposed to get a lot bigger, though. You see that? Like the storm, look at the size of it there versus there. I mean, the system's supposed to get really large. The system's pretty small right now, but it is forecasted to get really big. Like a really big system. Let's see here. HAFSA parent. This will show the size. Yeah, look at that. So like that yellow, that kind of dark, the greenish yellow there, that's showing tropical storm force winds, according to the model here. And you can see just how small it gets. So it goes like from really itty bitty to just massive. Wait, hold on. Goes from really itty bitty guy to just a huge storm. According to these models here, it's not just this model, anyways. It's a bunch of models here too. Yeah, it's a bunch. It's actually all the main models essentially. Let's see here. So then we work our way over here to the HAFSB model. Yeah, we're gonna pull the parent one on this one too. Yeah, same thing overall. It's just the system is gonna grow in just size. That's why it's gonna cause so much problems. That's why it's gonna cause so much problems, is because the system's just gonna be so daggone large that it's just gonna really rock the seas. That's for sure. That's going to be a really felt effect out there. Golly. Yeah, like I said, those models get those wave heights pretty daggone large here overall. But anyways, well guys, like I said, I don't know really too much more to talk about here. I think we covered just about everything for now. I think I'm going to head off here. I got some things I got to do here. But we'll be back later on tonight for another update here. If there's any final questions you guys have, let me know. Before we head off here, I'll probably head off here. Yeah, we'll head off at 12. So we'll head off in 7 minutes, guys. So this last part of will be questions that you all might have. Like I said, I've been answering questions along the way, but specifically I'll be looking for questions for everybody here. Becky says, I'm praying for everybody who's in the target zone of the... Let's see. Yeah, honestly. Yep. Like I said, hopefully it just stays out to sea. Let's hope it doesn't cause, too many problems. I mean, because like I said, regardless at this point, I mean, it's going to have some impact for sure. Just the sheer size alone is going to rock the East Coast of some pretty heavy waves. Which, like I was saying, don't be going out surfing in this, okay? Even though I know it's tempting, I know it is. Trust me, it is. It's very tempting. But there is rip currents out there. If you know any, if you've been surfing, you should know a thing or two about rip currents. Okay. There's gonna be some real strong rip currents with the storm here. So that's that. Yeah. Then of course we have that other storm here that rolls through. Let's see, which one was this? I keep on forgetting the name. Margot. That's right. Let's see here. Michael says, thanks so much for all your coverage. You're very welcome. Much appreciated, sir. You are very welcome, Michael. Once again, thank you so much for helping us out with the very generous donation. Greatly appreciated, my friend. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, big thank you goes to Michael as well as MP today for for helping out with the donations. You guys rock. We love you guys. But like I said, if y'all have any, like I said, if y'all have any questions, let us know. Let's see here. Is it going to hit Florida? Possibly Orlando? No. More than likely it will not. Because like I said here, as we work away, I'm going to show you exactly why it's not. Why I don't think it is. Okay. So with the winds, so basically from the surface to the upper levels of the atmosphere, so this little guy right here, that's Lee. That's the hurricane right now. Oh, you know what? I'm actually going to full screen this here. So that's Lee right here, okay? This thing tracks its way to the northwest. You can see it's continuing northwest. But we get some strong winds that develop. You can see that really big jet of just strong winds that develop go right over Florida here. That right there, my friend, is going to steer it to the north. It's going to get drawn up by the current. So that should keep it well away from Florida. But still, regardless, like I said, still regardless overall, this thing is going to, cause some coastal effects. Like I said, that's what we got. That's what we can guarantee at this moment right now is a bunch of coastal effects. Let's see here. Date range for Long Island. Like I said, still not for sure it's going to hit Long Island, but it's, according to some of the models, it gets up near those regions for like September 15th. Like I said, it's still very far out. This is a week out from reaching this point in the forecast, according to the models. Like I said, 7 days out. That's a whole week of weather that we have to go through. So a lot's going to change. A lot's definitely going to change here. Let's see here. Let's see. But yeah, no, I don't think it's going to get near Florida. I don't. But I do think that, northern Florida will probably feel some big waves out of this event. That's a good possibility. Let's see. Monica says these hurricanes always change last moment. Be ready now. Have your supplies before panic in areas. Let's see here. Concern on the East Coast. Wake up. Yeah, like I said, there's no reason to panic right now, guys. No reason to freak out. Like I said, obviously there's no reason to even go and prepare for the storm right now. I mean, if you're across the East Coast, there's absolutely no reason at the moment you need to go out and get prepared for the system because we don't even know if it's going to hit the U.S. yet. Okay, I cannot stress that enough. I cannot tell you guys that enough. Is that this thing, this thing is still several days away from the point of where, if it was to hit landfall, where it would be. Okay, it's still very far away from that point. I mean, we still got a lot of the ocean to track through. I mean, right now, the storm is like right here at this point, and we got all of this space to work with. Okay. See here. But anyways, like I said, guys, final call for questions. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. Let's see here. Oh, let's see here. Oh, here we go. I got something cool to show you guys. I'm glad I just got this tweet. So, okay, I'm going to show you guys something. I just got confirmation to show you all. So don't go yet. I got something to show you guys. Hold on. We're going to keep you over here for a second. I wanted to show this, but I was waiting for a reply. Let's see here. Here we go. So this is from the Hurricane Hunters here. Y'all ready to see something crazy? This was last night. This was in Hurricane Lee. That's in the eye. That was last night. Look at all the lightning activity. Like I said, I've mentioned before here, with tropical systems here overall, like I said, with tropical systems overall, if you see a lot of lightning in the eye, right there in the eye wall, I should say, yeah, oh, look at that. Wow, dude. Trying to catch it on that frame. There you go. Boom. Look at that, dude. Holy cow. You can see straight up. You can see stars. I just had to, sorry. But that was in Hurricane Lee. that was in Hurricane Lee last night. I mean, just continuous. Like, that is, it's crazy. Let's see here. Terrifying and stunning. Yeah, it is. But no, shout out goes to Hurricane Hunters. They said I could fly, and then so this dude right here, big shout out to him for letting me use his footage. I think that's his footage, by the way. But that is, yeah, that's just amazing, just beautiful. Wow, dude, look at that! Holy cow! Wow, yeah, there's a star right there. So there you go. That was that rapid intensification. Let's see here. Chris says, I live in Bermuda. Do I think it's going to come up to us? I think Bermuda will definitely feel some effects with this one. So, Chris, if you live on the coast, which obviously there's not much interior of Bermuda because it's mostly all coast, there's going to be some big waves out there, big rip currents. We're still monitoring for a possible approach. There's no reason to panic right now. Like I said, there's obviously, no reason to freak out about this. We still don't know if it's going to go right near you, if it's going to remain far away from you, or if it's going to go over you. We don't know. But I'll keep you informed. Like I said, we'll continue to do updates here overall. Let's see, Rich says, wow. Yeah, no, that is a big wow. Just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, I wanted to share that. Like I said, I tweeted out to the Hurricane Center, and they said I could. But anyways. All right, you guys. Well, like I said, if y'all have any last question, I'm going to take one more question if y'all have any questions. If not, then we're going to head off here. Let's see here. Allie says, appreciate you. Thanks so much for the info. You're very welcome. You guys are very welcome. Like I said, we're going to be, like I said, we're going to be watching out for this here overall. We're going to be keeping an eye out there for this overall for the next little bit. Just to make sure y'all are staying safe out there. Let's see here. But yeah. Monica says, let's see here, be ready so you do not panic. I mean, there's no reason to go out and completely sell out a store right now. That's a for sure thing. Like I said, I honestly understand. Yes, I mean, being prepared for it. Just make sure you always have food. I mean, that's just a normal thing you got to do. But like I was saying though, there's no reason to go out and completely sell out stores across the East Coast right now, because like I said, it's still not for sure. I mean, Monica, even then, like several days away. I mean, we're at least a week away from approaching anywhere near the coast. So. I mean, it's still a while to go. It's still a while away. And, people, that's the good thing about hurricanes is that people usually have a couple days to prepare for this. It's not like a tornado outbreak or something that just instantly happens. You only have a couple minutes to react. No, with hurricanes, you have like a couple days to react. But right now is not a time to freak out and, go buy everything in the store. Let's see here. But all right, well, guys, I think we are going to go ahead and head off here for tonight. For now. I will mention, yeah, our winter forecast, guys. Winter forecast is going to come out at 3 o'clock. So if you guys want to, watch our winter forecast, it'll be out at 3 o'clock. I already got it done, made, and it's already set for schedule. So right 3 o'clock on the dot, it will come out, and you guys can see the winter forecast for the country. I've been working hard on that for the last little bit. So if you guys would be interested in that, that is that. But yeah, no, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up here, y'all. That's going to go ahead and wrap this up here for now. Once again, we are going to do another live stream on the tropics here tonight. I'm thinking right around 8 o'clock or so. So tune in around 8. Like I said, if you've not already considered subscribing, y'all, like I said, consider it. I'm not going to force y'all to, I'm not going to scream at you and say subscribe, but, consider subscribing. That way you guys can remain up to date with the latest information and everything like that. But, all right. Well, you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Once again, we'll catch you guys here later on, once again, right around, right around, 8 o'clock or so. So we'll be on Eastern time. But, all right. Well, you guys have, like I said, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and we'll catch you guys later on. All right, my friends. Once again, big shout out. goes to our supporters here for today. We had a donation coming in from Michael, as well as MP. Thank you so much. And, all right, well, you guys take care, and we'll catch you guys later on. Peace out, my friends. See you then.